Hello. I wanted to comment today on a conversation I had with a friend who has a Buddhist background. She is Buddhist, actually, and does not believe in God or has faith in Christianity or anything like that. These are my comments. They're not the answer for the thing. They might be of interest of you listening, perhaps. I was commenting how we can see God in our lives. And I mentioned to her several things. And one of them was one time falling from, 20 feet to a place where there's some rocks below and I didn't die. Here I am. And like that, there were many other episodes that were strange, that I should not have made it, either physically or emotionally, spiritually. And when I look back, it gives me this sense of awe that there was something else going on, and how also life has a certain order, almost like a harmony you start feeling after you lived for some time. Like, oh, there were things. Is there something going on here? Like you hear some music. So I mentioned that to her, and she immediately said, well, what about the people that did die when they fell? And I didn't know exactly how to answer there. I'm not so good at answering right away big questions. So I had to let some time go by. And now looking at it, it was a little derailing of what I was saying, I think, because I was not making a comment on the distribution of interventions by God and in life-threatening situations or something like that. I was making a comment on how we can see God in our lives. So in that case, I was glad to survive. If I had not, maybe I would have known God or know of God sooner. I have nothing to say with God's justice or His will is perfect. But what I was pointing out is that we can see in our personal lives, and also, as she was saying, that through meditation and other personal experiences, she was able to realize that there's more than what we see. There's something going on. There's something bigger. Applying that to other areas, we can find God. It is like the saying, all paths lead to Rome. Well, all paths lead to God. And you can see that in your internal experience, if you meditate, if you look carefully enough, you will see that. And you can see it in your personal history. You can see it in nature. You can see it around you. And you can see it in history. And that's where I think many people, I for once was one of them, stop. Because if you come to the realization, all right, there's something going on. Let's say you're an atheist or agnostic or Buddhist. You realize, well, there's something going on here. Let me see. Okay, well, inside me, my life, there's something. And they might claim to be very scientific in their approach, but they don't go out. I didn't go out. I'm going to talk about myself and say, okay, so now I think there's something, some higher intelligence that we can call God, and it exists. But if I'm a scientist or scientific enough, and I'm interested in knowing more, I would say, okay, hold on. I know it in my personal life, in my internal experience. I can see it around, and how nature is so perfect to the minute, to the very little things. There's even math in everything, and how it interacts. It's a big symphony. I can see it. Now, do I take the step to say, all right, so then let me find out. I want to find out because I heard that God revealed Himself to us. And He has said something that has not been indifferent. Let me see those claims and go deeply into that and find out. And first of all, many times we have to remove our own prejudices that they're colored glasses. So we will be dismissing a lot of things. Oh, fairy tales and this. Well, are they? What's going on here? So you can go step by step and take the trouble of finding out, because God loved us and loves us, and He has reached out, and there's historic base for that. And a lot of things, yes, we're not going to find very concrete evidence, direct evidence at times. There's a lot of indirect evidence and a lot of good reasoning you have to do, because we're talking about things that were 2,000 years or more if you go to the Old Testament. But you approach the history of it, you do your research, you read the Bible, you see what it does. If the claim, you can have a personal experience with it and see, well, not only the historical parts, but if it has medicine for you, if it has something there. I found it to be true, and I was not even looking to be Christian or anything like that. I just started reading the Bible as a book that I thought it was very important in our world, and I like reading, and this book is fundamental. I should just read it as a reader. So I started reading it, and it was like, wow, this is powerful stuff. There's something going on here, like I haven't seen in other readings I did. The simplicity, the power of it, the sequence of things. And then there's history also in it. So it's not mythology. If you're going to read it, it's not just one book. It's Biblia. Bible is the books. It's like a little library you have there. So you have poems, you have mysticism, you have instructions, you have stories, you have a lot of things there, prophecies. So you can pick, and there's a way to read certain things, You don't read it like reading a manual of instructions or something like that. So you have to develop a little bit the palate. Okay, I went on a branch here. I branched it off. But that's what I wanted to say, that we can find God in our lives, and taking the step to find the reality of it. When we go beyond our own circle and we start going out and going into history, into the real thing, and the most important thing, having a connection with Him, that we start praying, we start experiencing that for ourselves, and see what comes out of that, and pray for faith, pray for understanding. Then we can come closer to the truth of it, and the truth will make us free. Amen. All right, that was my talk, very spontaneous here. I started talking. I hope you enjoy these thoughts that I had, and I hope you have a blessed day.